SB Nation Show. I'm Kyle, and here with Mark, we've got an awesome, super simple project for you to build. Mark, what can you tell us about the project we brought?
Yeah, so we built this one the other day. It's just a very simple, easy chair that anybody can build. If there's a beginner out there that's not, real confident or wants to build their first piece of furniture, this is a good one to start with. Uses all 2x4, so very inexpensive and very simple plans to follow. So let's get started.
Awesome. All right, so what is this first step we have?
So the first one we want to start with is actually the two arms, and that's an example of one we've already cut out, and we'll show the other one being cut for reference. There's a nice, easy template you can cut out in the instructions. So for starters, just lay that out nice and flushly in the board, make your mark, and then on this end, which is going to be the front of the arms, we're just simply rounding off the corners.
Great.
So let's go ahead and make our first cut here. And before we get started cutting, for those of you that haven't used a jigsaw very often, particularly for your curved cuts, you want to make sure you keep pressure down and on the front of the saw, and you don't want to put any side-to-side pressure because it will actually bend the blade and create a bevel. Then you're going to have a lot of extra sanding to do. So just a helpful tip to keep in mind. So here we go. So that's all finished. Before we actually install these, we'll want to take a sander and kind of knock some of the splinters off, because this is where your arms are going to be sitting. Make sure that's comfortable.
Perfect.
Okay, so the next step is going to be actually the back support. So if you can go ahead and clamp that and talk through that a little bit, I will get your tools for you.
Thank you. So you'll notice with the back of the chair, we've already put one of the sides on and the back seat part. So all of these angles, the spacing, everything is in your cut list. So as long as you follow the list that you have, you'll be good to go.
So the first tool we're going to be using is the drill driver with a countersink bit. We're going to do a pilot hole first so we don't split our wood. Perfect.
Okay.
And some screws.
Thank you. And we've got a pulse driver here. You can also use an impact driver. The pulse driver will be a little bit more quiet, so but either one will drive those screws and really lock them in there.
Perfect.
All right.
Excellent. Last one done. Go ahead and unclamp this. Our next step, guys, is going to be the legs. Now, once we complete that step, you're really going to see this start taking some shape.
So when we were making this, we noticed that this brace between the two sides is a little tricky with the measurement. Of course, you can follow the measurements in the plans, but Mark has a tip to where you can line it up perfectly so you're sure that it's in the right spot. Mark?
Yeah, love to, Kyle. So this part here is quite simple. So I like to start with this left joint. Go ahead and screw that in place. This one's a little trickier, as you mentioned. So what I like to do is take a scrap piece and line this other leg up, butt it up right to the scrap piece. Measure down the same distance and make your mark. So obviously without this scrap piece, it's hard to get your mark correct.
Right.
So once you do that, you can go ahead and screw that in place, and you know it's square and your chair is going to sit correctly.
Awesome. So you just do that twice and then you've got your chair sides.
Absolutely. And then we're ready to start building the frame.
Great. Let's do it.
Okay. If you use another piece, will basically help you level things up and make your clamping life a lot easier. If you want to clamp the front, I'll hit the back here. Okay, so that's nice and snug. Now the trick here, guys, is as you're positioning this front to back, you want to make sure you line up the corners of the leg to the back and not to the side slat. And I love these steps because now you really get to see it start taking shape.
All right. There
Now
we
it's
go.
starting to look like something.
So now that we've put the side on, we're going to flip it over, put the other side on, and then it just comes to the finishing touches. So once we do that, we'll throw on the slats for the back, the slats for the seat, and then we'll throw on the armrests, and then we'll have ourselves a chair.
Ready to go.
All right, let's
do
get to it. All right. So guys, we added that additional side, we added the front brace, and Mark added the armrest. Mark, why don't you show them that trick you came up with to line the armrest up perfectly on the chair?
Yeah, I'd love to. So just a quick time saver for you guys, so you don't have to get your tape measure out and measure from the side and the front 100 times. Just take a simple scrap block of 2x material that you've got laying around. Go ahead and lay that down and flush up the side. Same thing on the front, just flush that up, clamp that in place, and then you can go ahead and screw that off. Just a big time savings for you, make your life a lot easier.
Perfect. So now that we've got the whole frame together, let's go ahead and finish it up with the back slats and the seat slats, and then we'll have ourselves a chair.
And there you have it, guys. The chairs are all done, and I could not be more excited with how they turned out.
I'd say they're perfect. Ready for the weekend, huh?
I'm ready.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. You can check out the full cut list and plans on Ryobi Nation for these chairs. And as an added bonus, we've included plans to the Ottoman down here. So make these projects, post them on Nation, show them off. And until next time, we'll see you again on the Ryobi Nation Show.